What's up, Nashville? Welcome back to another episode of the Nashville Fit Magazine podcast. If I said that correctly, it could be Nashville Fit Podcast. But regardless, we're here. My name is Savannah. Y'all can call me Sab. And
I am the Jarrell Webb. We are here with Laura. Say your last name for me. Schweizer.
Yes.
I was struggling hard
That's
reading.
okay.
Wait,
As
is
I
it
stalked you
Schweizer
over.
or Schweizer?
Schweizer.
Got it.
My
Schweizer.
fourth grade student council campaign slogan was Schweizer is wiser.
That's brilliant.
Thank you. I won.
What grade?
Clearly.
Fourth
Yeah,
grade.
for a fourth grader,
Clearly.
you
In
were
the
thinking
fourth-
ahead of the game,
Did you
for
come
sure.
up with that?
I did.
Sheesh.
I did. Yes.
Sheesh, man. Fourth grade, I would have never rhymed those two things.
Yeah, I was making
Together.
dioramas.
I was
Struggling to do that.
I was almost getting kicked out of school in the fourth grade. But we'll talk about that on another podcast. We're so grateful to have you here. What is going on here? What is happening?
Don't worry about it.
Grateful to have you on here.
Thank you.
As I stalked your LinkedIn and Google and everything just to find out more about you, I saw that you went to SIU. Is
I
that right?
did. Very brief, the first year of college.
So that's one thing we have in common.
Really?
Yeah, I went very briefly on a visit and I said I am not coming to this school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know what it is. What is it?
SIU is Southern Illinois University
Okay.
in Carbondale.
Okay.
And so I visited out of high school, and it's a funny story. Almost got in a fight. Wasn't my fault at all. It's just like I'm from the South. We speak in the South. I was walking by this random guy, and I was like, "What's up?" He was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "What's up?" I don't know. It was very random. I don't know. I was like, "Yeah, I don't need to be here." So I ended up coming here, but I saw that, and I just thought, "Yo." That's
Okay.
one thing that we already have in common.
Okay.
Second thing is we're both wearing yellow, so we're already on the same tune. Clearly, Sab doesn't care about
Yeah, I
us.
missed the memo.
She wanted to be alone.
I love yellow too.
But let's dial back. We'll get into like kind of where you are now, all the things you have going on now. Like for those that don't know, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I am one of the hosts of Local on 2 on WKRN News 2. It's a lifestyle show. We just launched it in September.
Really?
And yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't know that. So it's new.
Yeah, brand new.
Oh.
Yeah. So I have been lucky to be part of the whole creative process in developing this show, which has truly
That's
been
awesome.
an honor. About 3 weeks before we went live, we completely changed the whole layout of the show, and I think it's going pretty well. I mean,
I'd say so. I've
yeah.
watched it.
Yes, Terry's been on the show.
Yeah.
Shout out to Terry.
Right on.
How did he do? How's Terry on TV?
He was wonderful. He was
Yeah.
lovely. He continues to send me guest ideas, and yeah, we
Right
work well
on.
together. Yeah.
That's
I love
awesome.
it.
Yeah.
I love it. How did you get into TV? Have you always been like this? I know we talked a little bit off camera about your introverted extrovert, but have you always been kind of the personality type?
Yes. I remember the camcorders back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
used
yeah.
to make shows. I used to pretend like I was on shows. I would say, "Oh, I'm Barbara Walters," and
adorable.
yeah, and host fake shows. And I always knew I wanted to do this. That's why I went to Southern Illinois University for college my first year. They had countless awards for their news program, but I wasn't really feeling it there either.
Yeah.
And I ended up transferring schools after the first year, and it was
Yeah.
an amazing opportunity at Illinois State University, which is where I graduated. So, yeah.
And you liked it a lot there.
I loved it there. I had such a great opportunity. So they have a college news station. And so I practiced my skills there, and I created this kind of a lifestyle show then when I was in college, my senior year. It was called 10 on 10 because it was TV 10.
Yeah.
So we would talk about 10 entertaining feature-y stories that happened on campus throughout the week.
Cool.
And so, yeah, that was kind of like the beginning of my like creative development TV process.
Yeah.
And it was just such an honor. It's still on TV in Bloomington Normal.
Wow.
Very
Yes,
cool.
yes.
Look at you,
Yeah.
trailblazer.
Thank you.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
gosh, you guys are so nice.
Well, I mean, you are. You give great energy too.
Thank you.
So how did it come about with what you're doing now? Like, was that a mutual friend that kind of hooked you up with that opportunity? Did you just bump into somebody, or did you reach out?
So when you go to school for broadcast journalism, they always say you got to start out in a podunk town and you work your way up. And I said, I want the dream job in the dream location, and I didn't have either. So I moved to my dream location, which at the time was small Durango, Colorado,
Okay.
southwest corner of the state. And there I had the opportunity to create and develop a digital media company that was owned by the newspaper
Wow,
there.
you've
So
done a
I did a
lot.
lot of feature stories there. I did local news roundup. I went skydiving, whitewater rafting, and skiing, and it was a great opportunity. And then I built myself up. I
You
moved
take
around. several
initiative, it sounds like. That's dope.
you
That's
have
awesome.
to, though, in life. If you have a vision, sometimes you don't see how the next step is going to evolve. But if you have, like, the little blocks of here or there, you can mark your way
Absolutely.
as you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are like kind of like little, I like to think of as like beacons of hope, you know, like those little connect the dots that you're talking about. Like, it's like you could be having a really bad day and feel like, oh, I just want to quit. But then you see that little like, oh, well, one day at a time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Who are 3 people in television that inspire you?
Well, you already
Past the current.
You came
already
prepared with
named
some good
her.
questions
Yes,
today,
thank you.
Jarrell.
Well, you know,
I applaud you.
I'm never
You're a
gonna
great
come
co-host.
and interview a journalist and not be prepared. So yes,
Very good.
I did my research. I feel
Very
like
good.
I already know Laura,
Uh-oh.
even though I've never met her.
Do you though?
We're about to find out. we're gonna find out.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but go ahead. Who are 3 of your top TV?
Oprah
person.
Winfrey.
Okay.
Oprah Winfrey.
Good one.
Hands down. She
Yeah, she
asked.
started in Nashville as well.
I know,
Yeah.
East Nashville.
Yeah.
Hey, reppin'. She asks the most brilliant questions. She knows how to get information out of people in an eloquent way. And she dives into these topics that not a lot of people do. And her Super Soul Sundays, oh my God, I used to
Amazing,
watch
right?
them every
Yeah.
week. Yeah, so good, so good. Okay, and then 2 others. I would say Katie Couric, love her
She's
her
awesome.
energy. And let's see, my third and final. You know, I grew up in suburbs of Chicago, so I grew up watching WGN in the morning. And I feel like watching them and how they were able to show their personality on air while still doing their job really kind of opened my eyes to show that, hey, people really just want to see you as yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I feel like that applies to a lot of career fields that we like forget about, you know,
Yeah.
even in business, you know, corporate world too.
right. Yeah,
Would those people be on your Mount Rushmore of broadcast journalism?
absolutely.
Absolutely, you get one more. If you could put one more person on there, who would it be?
I get one more.
Yeah, because it's 4 on Mount Rushmore, right? Yeah, it's 4. So okay, one more person. You're Mount Rushmore. We got Katie Couric, we got Oprah, we have
That is a fine mountain.
of
people.
The WGN crew.
The whole crew?
Well, I mean, the 2, the Larry and Robin.
We can pack
Okay.
them all into one rock, so we'll give her one more.
Okay, we'll give you one. We'll still give you one more.
We'll still keep,
Okay,
one
one
more
more
ticket.
person and-
One more person. One
yes.
more person. You know who is a classic? Who I watched growing up is Tom Brokaw. I
Okay.
feel like he was like the
Okay.
solid news anchor that you would trust your heart and soul with every single night. You turn it on. I mean, we would watch it as a family.
Yeah, Tom
And then
has
we'd-
to be on there. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Can you do any
he's a good
impressions?
one.
Ooh.
Of any of your
of my
Any
idols?
inspirations?
Yeah.
Sure.
Anybody you ever practice?
I
you ever
always do
practice,
the Oprah
dude?
and
I
Yeah.
ask and I know that I can.
Oh,
You get a car. You get a car.
Yes,
You get a car.
Elsie.
My favorite is
Hey.
my favorite is the bread. I love bread. That's like will go down in history
See,
for me.
we all love her.
She's great. She articulated the heck out of that. And I'm like,
Out of that one, that's
I'll
what you
never
remember.
forget
Out of
that. I can hear her
everything
voice
over
doing it
there,
now.
You're like bread.
Yeah.
Anytime I
That
hear
the part that hit you
bread,
right here. You were like,
it's
you know what? Me too,
R-
Oprah. Me too.
Yeah, it's like I want to eat some bread with you. Or, Oprah.
Yes, let's make it happen.
I
So right
mean,
here on this podcast.
Oprah, you heard it here
If
first.
Oprah, if Oprah comes in here, guys,
'Cause we know you're listening.
Listen,
Yes.
that would probably be the only time I would be speechless if Oprah was sitting right there.
Yeah, I don't think I
Breaking
would.
I think I
bread
was
with
kinda-
Oprah.
We're just gonna sit here and eat bread in silence. So like, okay, this is the best bread I've ever had. I don't know about you guys.
I don't think I'd be able to even eat the bread. I'd be so paralyzed.
Yeah.
Probably.
So a friend of
She's
mine,
mega famous.
a close friend of mine, really wants to break into television.
Okay.
What advice?
Is that you?
did I give it away? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
What advice would you give? Not news, but television, TV. What advice would you give my close friend?
You're asking for a friend. I would say do everything that you possibly can in small doses. Like get your paws in on all things. Like this. This is a perfect example of how you get your face, your name, your reel made. I did a lot of, so after I left Durango, I went to Denver and I thought, okay, I'm going to work at a TV station there. I sent out my resume so many times and got turned down, not even a response most of the time. So I did a lot of freelance work. So I worked with a running magazine there. I worked with a fashion magazine there. And I just did as much as I possibly could to build that reel.
Love
That's what it's about.
Build your
Take
reel.
initiative, man.
So, friend, build your reel, and then send it out to as many people as you can. I want to jump into this adventure side of you, right?
Okay.
So I read about that you clearly have an outgoing personality, but you have also an adventurous personality. So you kind of mentioned it a little bit, like you skydive, parasailing, whitewater rafting, and what else am I missing? Snowboarding,
skiing.
That's so cool.
I mean, a lot. I did
Multi-dimensional.
this snow biking thing one time.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Is there anything that you haven't done that you still want to do? Like, is there a bucket list of adventurous things? And how much of a thrill seeker are you?
I mean, I would say I am a thrill seeker. But to an extent. Like one thing I would never do is bungee jumping.
Okay.
I just freaks
Really?
me out.
Yeah.
Of all the crazy things you've done?
I know. It's like I'll jump out of a plane.
Right.
Not connected to a cord.
But the cord just freaks me out.
What freaks you out about it?
The-
Jumping out of a plane, you're connected to nothing. You know,
Right.
there's a
It's
you
a lot
know
of
the button
judgment
doesn't
coming from
pop
that side
off.
of the
You
table.
land
Right
in
now.
right.
You hear that judgment coming over there? Like, you wouldn't bungee jump? Like, so you jump
I know,
out of
that's
a
the
plane, but
point.
not right.
I'm just trying to understand because I have always wanted to go bungee jumping, but I've been skydiving twice.
Yeah.
And like it's great, but to me, like the risk is way greater.
Yeah.
But you know, to each their own. Everybody's got their
The
own.
bungee jumping is too much. Also, the whitewater rafting was, I woke up 3 times the night before that I did it because it's so scary. I mean,
It is scary.
it is very dangerous.
Yeah.
And we had to do a kind of like a simulation that if we were knocked off,
Right.
you got to keep your legs high, and the water was so cold. You can barely move. Your muscles are just like
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
tense.
freezing up, yeah.
And that night I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die doing this. I can't do it. And I
Yeah.
ended up doing it, and it was scary.
And you're right here, sitting here.
Live to tell the tale.
Yep. You look
Yeah.
great. You don't look like you died. So.
Thank you.
Anything on the bucket list that you want to do?
That's
that
what I
you
wanna
haven't
know.
That
done?
I want to do?
Yeah.
I think, driving a race car would be really cool.
You're in
That's
the
a
right
good
place.
one.
Yeah.
You're in the right place.
I
Yeah.
Okay.
Nashville?
Yeah, and
We
they
have
have
the
that
Speedway,
Corvette.
yeah.
They have that Corvette thing in Kentucky.
Yeah, so my father-in-law used to work at the Corvette plant, and when you buy a Corvette, you can take it out, or you can just take, if you own a Corvette, you can go take it up to their speedway and just
There's a Corvette Speedway for Corvette owners?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Bowling Green.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Bowling Green. That's right.
Of course.
And
Kentucky.
so he would always say, like, he would see those guys out there, and he was like, "There's no way I'm going." Because I asked him, like, "Why don't you?" He's like, "I'm not doing that. I don't want to die." And I was like, "It's wide open." He was like, "Yeah, I see it. It's just like they're like Corvettes can go easily, 170 probably
Yeah.
top out. It's gonna shut off, but you can
And these
get
are just
there.
like
This is just
any
what you buy.
rich dude that has a Corvette
Any
can do
rich
this
dude that has a
with no
Corvette.
experience?
There's
Yeah.
a guy here
Wow.
who...
Does anybody get hurt ever doing that?
I'm sure.
Ugh.
I mean,
I don't think I would trust myself. Like,
It's your car. It's you and your car.
Right,
So.
I want to
exactly.
keep it pretty.
Do whatever you want.
Does
with
anybody
your
ever get
Corvette.
hurt bungee jumping?
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's why I'm
That's when I just put the blinders on.
That's why it's off the table.
It's all
knows,
it is, right? But I think that would probably
cool.
be a great
That's a good one.
story too. Yeah. Like
Need for Speed.
put your
What's the
little
favorite
helmet
thing
on.
that you've done so far? If you had to like pick one thing.
Like adventure activity. So I went skydiving not only in Moab, Utah, which was the closest place from Durango, but I
was
also
really
did
pretty.
it in Hawaii, and that was incredibly beautiful. I mean,
That sounds
think about
cool.
it, the green mountains and then the turquoise blue water. It was insanely beautiful.
I'm gonna have to go
That
again.
just brings your resume up to speed because you spent some time in Hawaii as well. Talk about that. Did you like Hawaii?
Yeah.
Did you come straight from Hawaii to Nashville? That's a big difference.
I did.
Yes.
Yes.
Talk about even the culture shock.
Thank you.
And living in those two places.
Well, there was culture shock on both ends. So I moved from Denver to Honolulu, and major culture shock, especially for a white girl with blonde hair. I mean, I don't know if you've heard, but haole is a term for outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
And I always I learned there, and it was a very humbling experience, that being an outsider really opens your eyes.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I learned that from here on out, I will never pretend to ever be from somewhere. I'm always going to be honest and say, I'm not from Nashville, but I will take my time to learn about your culture and respect your culture and where you come from and what you guys have seen and been through. But I had to learn that kind of the hard way in Hawaii.
What was hard about that? Like, what was it that made you, I guess, see it like that was eye opening? Was it one experience, two experiences? Was just the culture in general? What was it about it that you feel?
I think there was a lot of like social media reactions and things that people would say about me, and if I didn't pronounce a word properly, that's in their eyes disrespectful and annoying.
Yeah.
But I learned how to say Honolulu properly, and as I said before, I learned how to take a back seat and really truly see things from their point of view, which I think is so important, and it's a life lesson that I will forever be grateful for. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to hear that.
What about moving from Hawaii to? Have you lived in the South before? No. Okay, let's get into it then. Here we are. Now you can press play on the podcast. Let's talk about just moving from Honolulu to Nashville, and so far your experience in the South.
Yeah. So I moved here in October of 2021. So it was like, pandemic was kind of wrapping up a little bit. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a hard time. I didn't know if I really liked it. I was so ready to move on from Hawaii and grow professionally. Mm-hmm. When I got here, I was working on Good Morning Nashville. So I was getting up at 1:45 in the morning, going straight to the Metro Police, the booking office, and pulling warrants. And it was heavy stuff. I mean, you're reading about crimes being committed hours prior, and it's just heavy. Yeah. I didn't have time to make friends when I'm going to bed at 7 o'clock at night. So it was very difficult for me. I would say, there are certain politics around here that I wasn't used to. Sure. I grew up in Illinois, and I lived in Hawaii, and I lived in Colorado prior to living here in Tennessee. And viewpoints are very different.
Yeah. I can imagine.
It's taking a step back and looking at a culture and just understanding it and understanding how you kind of play into it. Mm-hmm. But it's important to always be yourself. So
I was going to say, your values still matter. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, what has been the biggest adjustment so far with you being in Nashville?
Biggest adjustment?
This is a safe space. You can speak freely. So It's okay.
I like that you don't feel rushed to answer too. That's
Thank
good.
you.
This is what you
should
call
feel
a professional. She's
relaxed.
I'm
Yeah,
choosing
she's
my
good.
words.
Like,
Before I say anything, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Give it a nice little space.
I think, and I really don't want to get political.
It's okay.
But I am a big supporter of the LGBTQ plus community, and
Sounds like I knew I liked you.
yeah,
I got good vibes from the very beginning.
yeah, and it just I feel a need to support that community as much as possible, without getting political, even though somehow it is. And I think it's a group of people who, I'm crying at a Pride festival because it's beautiful. People are loving, people are being themselves, not afraid to, show the world who they are. And I think that's so important. That's literally what the universe wants from us, is just to be who we are individually, and then collectively just understand and accept that. But sadly,
That made me cry.
Oh, yeah, but sadly, it's not always that way. So for me, that's been the biggest adjustment.
And how would you say, if you are, how are you able to use your platform in support of that group of people?
I think just sharing the beautiful stories that I've seen within that community. And I think that, as a journalist, you give a voice to the voiceless. And I really and truly feel at this time in particular, they need a voice. And it's not just slanted or angled. It really and truly is telling a beautiful story about a human being, and they deserve their story to be told. I believe everyone has a story. But if your community is being suppressed, then why should we not tell that story?
It's like a story that probably needs to be told if it's being suppressed.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure that you get a lot of, as a journalist and as like a public speaker on TV where people see you every day, I'm sure people throw their opinions at you a lot. And I could be wrong, but
thankfully, the show that I work on now is very inspirational and positive, and that's what I'm all about. I feel such an honor to sit on that platform and be able to share stories that we always say, before we start the show, we do a prayer, and we always say we want to change hearts and we want to change minds, and that's really important. That's always part of the prayer, and that's the whole point of it. So maybe sometimes people do have an opinion, but if I differ from their opinion, that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all have a space to share an opinion, but I think the most beautiful thing is when we can listen and say, "Oh, interesting. Okay." Even if you differ from their opinion.
that sounds like a really healthy work environment.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's so
I
awesome.
love my coworkers. They're beautiful.
That's really
They're
great.
amazing.
I love that you use the word beautiful so much. It's like if you're going to overuse a word in your vocabulary, that is a good one. Because I
And I
use the
always
word
say-
dope way too much, and
Okay, all right.
gotta pick a better one. Beautiful is way better.
Okay.
I don't know. I like dope. Not like that.
I
but-
just use it way too much. Trust
Let me,
me.
hold on. Pause. Time out. Let me be very clear about I don't use partake in dope. I was saying the word I enjoy using.
Thank you for
that's
clarifying, because we
dope.
were all
Yes,
assuming the word.
right?
There you go.
Because that's a sound bite. I understand how that works as well. Like,
Oh yeah, no, good point. I would be the person to get
Terry's gonna
gypped
cut
on
that and just say, hey.
Yeah.
So you've been doing journalism for a while now. Talk about some of the adversity that you may have had to overcome, and also like, what do you feel like one of your biggest wins are right now?
I feel like, and this is something that I feel like I have dealt with my entire life, is, I am bubbly and blonde and smile a lot and say beautiful. And so I feel like being taken seriously has always been a challenge that I've faced. And I would say now in this role, after years of experience, I feel like I am being taken seriously. So it's a huge win for me. And I take it very seriously, what I do. Because we're speaking to our whole audience, which could be, you know, one person, but
Right.
but still that one person can make an impact. You can make an impact on one person. And that's the whole goal, a positive impact.
Yeah.
That's
What?
beautiful. Seriously.
Very good.
Seriously,
Very
everything
good.
you are putting down, I'm like,
Yeah. Everything you put
Love
down,
her.
I'm picking up.
Thank you.
yeah.
What is what's the big ass dream? Like what is like, okay, you're here, you're in Nashville.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, this is just me making an assumption that this isn't it for you. What does the finished product of Laura look like?
I mean, would it be amazing to be on a national platform? Absolutely. Right now, I feel like I finally have my dream job, so I'm really just refining my craft. And I watch my shows back and I think, okay, don't ask it like that, Laura. Or listen a little bit and respond and then ask your question. So right now I just am really refining my craft and being a part of this community. I love Nashville so much. So I've grown from that
Yeah.
first phase when
Absolutely.
I first got here to absolutely loving this community is so kind and generous and they do give back. Yeah, there are differing opinions, but that's anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's what you focus on too, because
Yeah.
there's always good and bad in any situation, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let's touch on that because I know that you're really big on community service. So, like, let's talk about some of the projects that you've already worked on, some that you may be excited to work on, something that you feel like Nashville needs. Where's a gap that you think we need to fill as far as in the community goes?
I'm so glad that you said that
Talk-
because
yeah, let's go.
So I just launched this segment that's kind of part of the News 2 initiative, which is 2 Gives Back. So we are doing a lot of like fundraisers here and there, and then every week we Marcus Bagwell, our meteorologist, gives lunch to a lot of first responders, things like that. And I'm like, community service is very important to me, whether it's feeding the homeless, things like that. And I really wanted to touch on where is the need in our community and the meaning that you get when you give back. So I launched my little 2 Gives Back with Laura Schweizer segment. I do it every other week. It airs every other week. But I went to read with Communities in Schools, which is an organization that serves underserved communities. And I read at Tom Joy Elementary School in East Nashville, where the majority of students are below reading average. So I read to them and they said, hey, we need volunteers every single week to mentor and read to these kids. So that's what I want to do with these segments is show where is the need in our community. These children, reading is essential in their future, for their future.
Absolutely.
But it's not just that group. I went to the Nashville Rescue Mission. Beautiful, beautiful work that they do. They have a life recovery program on top of just emergency services. Last night was actually probably one of the most fun segments that I've shot with 2 Gives Back. I was at Our Place,
I've heard of
which
that.
is, it's a community for adults with disabilities, and they get to commune with each other. They live near each other. They all support each other. So they need volunteers to come talk with the group and share insight, information. So I did a little public speaking class and we all got up and pretended to be reporters.
I know,
And
it
they
was so
had
special.
so much fun and they were hilarious and awesome.
That's so special.
Yes, it was really cool. And truthfully, selfishly, kind of, I get so much purpose out of this because, when you give back to a different community that, I haven't experienced homelessness. I haven't experienced sex trafficking, but now I'm seeing these women who have been, or children, men, whoever, who have been in a different position than I am, and it really gives you perspective of, hey, wow, I have been so blessed in my life. I need to give back, and that's what Oprah says.
Yes.
She says you get so much meaning back.
Absolutely.
When
That's
you
where
give back.
so much worth in life is you get what you give, but when you're giving, it's really it's not what you expect to get back, but it's more.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Meaning, purpose, just a true respect for not only just your life, but the fact that you have the ability to give back to others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why is community service such a passion project for you?
Why
is that important?
My grandma, she used to feed the homeless, and she would take me with her. In high school, actually, I continued after she passed away. No, she hadn't passed away just yet, but I continued without her. She passed that along to me, and I'll never forget, I was serving dinner, and a girl in my class who went to my high school was there, and I was serving her, and it was just this moment of, wow, this isn't just like a totally separate community. This is someone within my circle, further out, but still in my circle. And it just opened my eyes that, hey, it's hard to ask for help. But if you have the ability, why not give?
Yeah. You hit a nerve with the, like a good one in a good way. The homeless community means a lot to me as well. And there's a lot, like, you can see on the street, you can see people, and some people are like, well, you know, I've had bad experiences with homeless people, or they just write people off left and right. And it's like, when you actually are in the community serving, and when you are with those people in person, you are talking with them, they are human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody started somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's a hard world, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and some people just are born into, you know, circumstances that aren't ideal, and it's really hard to climb out.
Yeah.
So it really does, when you talk about perspective, it really, really does.
Mm-hmm.
When you get in there with people,
Mm-hmm.
and you actually are among other human beings, instead of just judging from afar or taking one bad experience, you know, it's like you have no idea where that person came from and why they are in this situation, and it's not like they asked for it, you know?
Right.
So
Thank you. That's why the kids really, mean so much. Whatever adversity they're facing, many of them, they didn't choose to be there. And even in, talking about the homeless, I mean, some people are there because of job loss or injury. And yeah, like you said, it really just humanizes things. When you look someone in the eye, you feel like, okay, wow, in the end, we're all the same. In our makeup and everything, we're all the same. We're human beings. So if you can just put yourself in someone else's shoes just for a minute, an hour of your time once a week, once a month, you will not regret it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Usually everyone has a story about why, like, they're so passionate about, especially like community building, right? Like, so for me, my mom and I grew up with a single mother. My mom and I would go build Habitat for Humanity homes,
that's
right?
a good one.
So that was something that we would go and do. We would go feed the homeless, and it would always be, I have two older sisters, but she would always only take me, right? And I don't know if that was just her time to spend with me, but those are some of the memories that I have. Is like, she would take me on a Saturday morning. Sometimes I hate it because I had literally just finished playing football, and she's like, hey, get up, we gotta go feed the homeless. And I'm like, yo, just got home. But now that I look back on it, and again, people are so grateful and thankful for you coming and spending your time in those moments. And again, we didn't grow up having a lot either, but that also puts it into perspective of how blessed you really are. Even though you may not have a lot, there's always someone that has less than what you have. You can always reach back and help those people. But while you were talking, we received a call-in question for you, and what the people,
lines are ringing off the hook.
They are, as you can see right here. They're ringing off the hook.
Yeah,
it's in my inner earpiece. And what the people want to know is, we didn't notice a ring on your finger. So are you single?
Oh gosh.
Oh
Dating?
goodness! See, I told you. I told you.
This is when my face is going to get real red.
Single, dating, taken. It's complicated. Where are you at right now?
I would say
He's asking as a married man.
Yes, I am. I'm not shooting my shot right now. I don't know.
I'll go hang out with your wife. She sounds pretty dope.
I would say I am single But right now I really am enjoying being by myself.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
And leaning into that.
You do you.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I've been in relationships where I felt miserable.
So basically, you're telling me that Nashville men aren't anything.
I would
You
say
haven't
I'm
met
waiting
any
to be
good
impressed.
Nashville men? Okay. Nashville men.
The next guest we have is going to be a Nashville man.
Right.
It's going to be,
We need to step up.
justifying that.
You guys need to step up and show Laura how Nashville does the dating scene properly.
I don't
right?
think they know how. She's
You don't think they know how?
Clearly amazing.
Maybe.
My hype woman, thank you.
Maybe
She's
she's
focused
at work
right now.
out.
She's about her. What
She's
she
going to
needs
work
me
at
do. She's
1:45 in the morning.
fine. Not
That's
anymore.
usually
Not
when
anymore.
That's
She's
usually when you're
grown.
getting home.
Oh, she's doing what she wants. She's
I'm
waking up
doing
on her
my
own
thing.
time now.
Bring it.
It's
Look at
called
you.
independence.
Independence.
I will defend
I
a
love
woman
it.
all
Hey,
day.
this is where I'm gonna back out, and I know.
Yeah, you won't win
when
this
to cut my
one.
losses. I will not. You will not back me into that corner, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
So
Fight him off for you.
because
Yeah.
That was
because
really
this
good
is the
boxing
Nashville
stuff.
Fit
Yes.
podcast. Let's jump into like ways you like to move your body. Like, how do you like to work out?
I used to really be into running, and I have not run in like a year-ish.
Okay.
I have really been into Pilates lately.
Yes.
I go to Body Rock,
Okay.
which shout out to them. They're
Yeah.
fabulous. They're wonderful. The classes are only 40 minutes, which
Yeah.
I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
My
Yeah.
roommate just recently got into Pilates and she's loving it.
Yeah.
Loving it, yeah.
And it works just like those small, fine
Oh,
muscle
yeah.
groups.
Yeah.
And truly, before I started going there, I said, I just want a workout that's like really gonna change my body. And that really
That's what you
did.
got. Yeah.
Yeah, let me put it
Yeah.
out there to people, especially if you're like me and you're like into strength training and weights and like, like
Wow.
lifting heavy stuff. Pilates is no joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a type of strength that I do not have, but it is underratedly very difficult.
And you'll be shaking like a leaf.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went to I
very
went to
functional strength,
Body,
too.
Yeah.
Body Rock with a friend, and she's literally laughing at me the whole time, like, cause
There's no guys in the class.
yeah, I'm literally the only guy.
man.
I'm the only
More
guy,
power
and
to you.
I'm the only black guy. So it's
More
like
power
this big
to
black guy
you.
in the back.
Yes, you represent.
with muscles. Like, and they're like, all right, we're gonna take our front foot and we're gonna take it out as far as you can. And I'm out here, and I'm like shaking like a leaf on a tree.
Yeah.
And I just see her back there, just just snicker. I was like, yo, can I focus on my workout right now without you laughing at me?
Right. I wish I was in that
But
class.
no, you don't.
Me too.
No, you don't. Because I feel like everyone was like watching me through the mirror. It's like, yeah, he's gonna tap. And the whole time I'm thinking, don't tap, Jarrell. Don't fall. Don't tap. Like, go out as far as you can. Like, hold
Yeah.
it there. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, my abs are about to rip because I'm trying.
What did you feel like the next
my
day?
ego's involved. I felt okay, but so what really got me is in college, I tore, I pulled my groin.
Okay.
And
Ouch.
so some of it's like you're standing on the platform and then one foot on the reformer and you kind of go out into like a split almost. They're like, go out as far as you can. And my feet are like this far apart. And I was like, yeah, this is it. Like, if I go any further,
Yeah,
it's gonna rip. And so she's literally behind me like, bro, what are you doing? I was like, this is it. Like, if my
all
legs.
that.
You don't want me to go any further.
Yeah, my legs don't spread wide. I'm sorry. This is as far as it goes. But great class. I killed like the plyometric stuff. Like they're like, oh, jump. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna kill
jump
this
board.
shit. Yeah,
The jump board, you were
board,
really
I killed
living,
it. Like,
yeah.
yeah, you guys can't jump with me though. That was the only part that I dominated, right?
Proud of you.
But yeah, so Pilates, no strength training, none. Not really?
Is there anything you've wanted to try?
Oh, that's a great question, yeah.
tried CrossFit, and
Oh,
it just
I love the way you said it.
Yeah. Yeah.
it just was a little
Not your
too
thing?
aggressive for me. I'm softer, and like the whole what is it when you pick up the
Deadlift?
deadlift and
Yeah.
then you're
That's
Clean.
more than a
It's just-
deadlift. It's probably an Olympic
yeah,
lifts,
the
yeah.
clean,
Yeah.
I just wasn't my style, but that's
Yeah.
okay, and that's what's so beautiful about the fitness community
Yeah.
is that there are so many different avenues that you can
Yeah.
try.
Everything's not for everybody.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree 100%. So we have what we call the basket of debate. And that's
Uh-oh.
brought to us by. Was that your air horn right there?
That was it.
Is that
Nice.
what that? It wasn't a very
That was
loud
my
air
sick
horn.
air horn. Okay, wait till on my voice is back.
Can we do
right?
that again? All right, so now we have what we
Don't
call the
tempt me.
basket of debate.
Okay.
No.
No air horn, come on.
You put me on the spot. You made me feel weird about it.
Brought to us by our friends at Beam Supplement Company. So we only have one question. This is crazy. One question that we're all going to answer today. Okay? Laura, you're going to answer the question first. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Is a Pop-Tart ravioli?
What? Wait, ask it again?
Is a Pop-Tart ravioli?
All right, these are out of control.
What kind of question is that?
We should ask you this.
I want to know who asked that.
You know who asked that. The person that you enjoy having on your
Terry,
show so much. Is a Pop-Tart
absolutely
ravioli?
not, because ravioli is the most amazing. I love Italian food. It's my weakness. So Pop-Tarts, not so much.
You don't
I'm gonna
love
stick.
Pop-Tarts?
See, I'll go the other way around. I will support some Pop-Tarts.
Very good. See, we're a good balance.
Yin and yang. Yes, that's right. Yeah,
Yes.
but no. Yeah,
So-
Pop-Tarts are
You're
Pop-Tarts.
saying it is ravioli or not ravioli?
I mean, no, because a Pop-Tart, yes, I see where you're going with the question. Like, oh, it's something wrapped in something. It's encasing, like, whatever filling is in the Pop-Tart. But I ain't never put no marinara sauce or something or some spinach and
Just because you
goat
won't
cheese in
doesn't
my...
mean you can't.
But yeah, but
Maybe delicious. You don't know.
are you going to put it in some, like...
Would you take would you?
No, pasta is different.
If someone said, yo, I got this marinara Pop-Tart.
So you got some ravioli.
You got to try it.
You got some
Would you
ravioli.
try it? You would try it. I see it in your eyes. You don't
I would
wanna say
try
yeah.
it because
Yes.
I would have already labeled it ravioli.
No, it's
Like, I would have told
marinara
whoever
Pop-Tart.
told me
No?
that's a Pop-Tart.
Absolutely
that they are
not.
wrong.
Absolutely not.
I would never try that.
You would never try it?
Absolutely not.
Even if it was like first date, like, hey,
First date?
Let me-
I don't think I would continue that
I
date.
think that person, that would be a
like
done deal.
let me blindfold you and tell me what you taste right now. And you're like,
That's a creepy first date. Yeah.
no.
Ain't nobody
Ravioli
blindfolded
Pop-Tart.
me on a first
No?
date.
Okay, well,
Yeah, put that in your notes.
take that off of my list of to-dos.
And what's your answer?
I say no. It's more of a strudel.
Strudel. That's a good word. I didn't even think of the word.
It's more of a strudel.
Yeah.
It's my journalism word of
Actually,
the day.
yeah.
Did you ever eat
excellent.
toaster strudel?
What? Did I
Oh,
ever eat?
yeah, the rival.
Did I ever-
The rival.
Yeah, of course I ate toasters.
All right, well, that's a new question
They're
then, and we'll
amazing.
end it on this one so that
Okay.
we're not rambling about Pop-Tarts all
Yes.
day. So, strudel? Wait, no, that was the question.
No, you go. What's your question?
Toaster strudel or Pop-Tart?
Toaster
Pop-Tart.
strudel. Toaster strudel.
Wow, see, split decision. That's why it was a
What
good
do you say?
question. You're welcome.
You say what?
Honestly, I have to say toaster strudel. It's
Yeah,
the
you have
icing,
to.
man.
The icing, yeah.
Gets me.
And the flaky
I'll put like
crust.
The
2
flaky
packs of it
crust
on
is
one.
nice.
Come
Make
on
it,
now.
yeah.
Come on. See, and you even did the Italian hands
Yeah,
right there.
you
See,
did.
you did this is
I'll stick with the ravioli.
So bad.
the ravioli
You guys
for
can have
breakfast.
your strudel.
She's like, I'm eating
Any
ravioli.
time of day.
Sounds to me like the strudel's closer to ravioli.
Honestly, you might be right there.
You might.
I could agree with that.
You might be.
For trying to compare them.
So just a quick question that I just started asking today for everyone, but it's a question that I want to ask all of our guests from now
Oh, okay.
on. On a
I'm
scale
the
of,
guinea pig.
well, second. Not you're the second person I've asked.
Oh, okay,
today.
very
But
good,
it's
very
fine.
good.
Yeah, you're the guinea pig.
I might have to
Um,
answer it twice, do I?
Do you want to answer it twice? Because technically, this
It
will be
might
a
have
different.
changed.
This will be a different episode. So
Yeah.
you can fake it.
Yeah, sure.
But we'll get Laura to go. All right. Question. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you mentally, physically, and professionally?
Professionally, I feel like I am at an 8.8.
Oh.
I
okay.
leave
It's a
room
very
for
specific number.
improvement because I am not perfect, and I'll probably say that in every single 3 of those categories. What were the 2 mentally?
Mentally and physically.
Mentally, I would say I am also at an 8.8. I think that rest is really important, and I don't do that enough.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
I gotta get better. I'm working on it.
important. And having my own space to be me and do my independent self, like, it's very important. I mean, yeah, that definitely need that alone time. It's
Okay.
very, very important to me.
Okay.
And what was
Physically.
physically? I warned you. If you asked me 2 weeks ago before I went to Mexico.
I'm asking you today, not 2 weeks ago. Today,
I would
where
say
are
I'm
you?
at a 4.
At a 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been eating Gio's Pizza like 3 times a week, which is the best Chicago pizza.
What's your favorite? What do you get on there? What's your toppings?
Sausage and green peppers.
Okay.
Thin crust.
Ooh, good choices.
Thin crust.
Yes. Literally had that over the weekend.
There you go.
Not from there.
They're coming on our show tomorrow.
I'm not a thin crust pizza guy.
It's hit or miss for me. It depends on where it comes from.
No, I'm a thick crust.
Thick crust. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
chiseled chocolate.
You like some thick. Very good. And I have not worked out. Sorry.
That's why I'm laughing at Savannah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
okay.
And you
no.
have not worked out. In 2 weeks?
No.
No judgment. That wasn't judgment. It was
No.
just a little judgment in my voice, but not a lot. 2 weeks. No walking. Don't
No.
walk the dogs. No, you have
I
a
don't
cat.
have, I have
you have
two
a
cats.
cat.
I
Two
have
cats.
2 cats. Yeah. And
Names?
they don't go on walks.
They don't go on walks.
Yeah.
Cats are. I have a thing about cats. They're kind of funny acting.
Well, that's okay. I know
Yeah.
they are very
They're
weird
like,
and
yeah.
funny and yeah.
Like sometimes they're
And
with
judgy.
you. Yeah,
And rude.
all of those things, right?
Yeah.
Those are cats.
Like,
They-
you have this on the table?
Yeah.
Right.
Dogs,
And
That's
I'm
cool. I'm gonna knock it
outnumbered
out.
by them.
dogs are so nice, man.
Be like-
Dogs are like happy people. They're like, hey, hug me, love me. That's it. Cats
Wag
are like,
their tail when
yeah,
you're
cats
right.
are literally like, forget you, bro. Like,
Right. Oh, you're home. Cool.
yeah, like, oh, thanks for the food, but
right. Yeah.
so I was like, you could have did more. Leave us with one thing that you want the people to know about you.
One thing that I want people to know about me is that I truly care about people's stories, individually and collectively. And I will never cut you off because I think that everyone's words are important. And choosing your words is very important. But yeah, I really and truly care about everyone's story. And I mean
And I
that.
feel like just sitting here talking to you, it's not just the words you're saying, but it's like the energy that you give off that is 100% believable.
Thank you.
So I can definitely
I mean
sense
it.
that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. You gonna wrap it up, Sal?
Sure. I mean,
Any more questions for her before she gets out of here?
well, you just asked me if I was going to wrap it up. I got in wrapping up mindset.
Well, I didn't want to cut you off. Didn't you hear what she said?
I feel like
Your
we're
words
going to
are
be
important.
best friends after this. So
Yeah, you could ask me.
we're
any other
gonna
time.
talk later
So
over coffee. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yes. Yes.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us on another episode. This is your friend Savannah, and we are here with Laura and Jarrell. Thank you so much, Laura, for joining us today. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right, Nashville Fit Fam, well, that is a wrap. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on today's episode of the NFM podcast with me, Sav, and my boy Jarrell. We look forward to hanging out with you guys next time, but until then, stay moving, stay Nashville Fit, baby. All the love. Let's go.